Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to our English class. I hope everybody is doing well and, of course, ready to take on the challenge on learning another set of words or vocabulary or terms about the topic McDonald's. So, in our previous sessions, we've covered the same topic because, again, here you are learning 25 essential words about the world's famous fast food restaurant, the McDonald's. So, later on, you are still going to discover more words and, of course, um, try to really learn and be familiar with these different words. This will be our last part of this discussion or lesson for the McDonald's vocabulary. So far, we did two sessions already for the discussion. So I hope everybody is ready for our day or our night, for the hour actually, because it's only an hour of discussion. But before that, to make sure that you are prepared and ready, we're going to do a very simple breathing exercise. On my cue, inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Okay, let out all the stress that was built up all throughout the day so that your mind or you yourself is really prepared to take in all the new lessons for this evening. Before that, let me check my screen for a moment and my audio as well. Okay, all good. Everything is good. My is visible and my audio is clear. So we're going to continue or start with our discussion for this evening. Again, this will be the last discussion for the McDonald's vocabulary. After that, in the next sessions, we'll do an exercise, of course, to assess your learning. Your learning or your understanding of our sessions on this particular topic. Okay, all right, let's start. But before that, of course, we're going to do a review of the previous terms or vocabulary that you've learned about McDonald's. Let me just read it. If you want to know more about it, there is a separate video for this. No, you can just watch again the live last meetings. Okay, for more elaboration so that you can really understand the term. Let me just read the definition. First word is apple pie. A warm, crispy pastry filled with sweet cinnamon apple filling, a delicious dessert. Next, we have Big Mac, the iconic double decker burger with special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on a sesame bun. Next, we have the breakfast, the first meal of the day, usually eaten in the morning. McDonald's serves breakfast until 10:30 a.m. Cheeseburger, a classic beef patty with melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard in a bun. Chicken nuggets, bite sized pieces of breaded chicken, served with delicious dipping sauces. Coca Cola, the world's most popular soft drink, served ice cold at McDonald's. Counter, the long desk where you place your order with staff and pick up your food when it's ready. Next, cup. A paper or plastic container for holding your drink comes in small, medium, and large sizes. Next, drinking. The act of consuming liquids like water, coke, juice, or coffee through your mouth. And then next is drive through. Order from your car, pay at the window, and get your food without leaving the vehicle. Next is eat in. Sit down inside a restaurant and eat your meal there at a table with a tray. Next is eating, the act of putting food in your mouth, chewing and swallowing it to enjoy the taste. Next is French fries, golden, crispy, salted potato sticks, the most popular side dish at McDonald's. Next is ice, frozen water cubes added to cold drinks to keep them refreshing and cool. The next we have the ketchup, A sweet and tangy tomato sauce, perfect for dipping fries and burgers. And then next we have the McCafe, McDonald's coffee brand offering lattes, cappuccinos, hot chocolate, and more. And then the last one would be the Mac Chicken, a crispy chicken patty with lettuce and mayonnaise and a toasted bun. So those are the different words or vocabulary that we've talked or discussed so far in our two previous sessions on McDonald's vocabulary. If you have any more questions about this, you can still feel freely use our comment box. Again, please use our comment box um, so that everything is clear from start to ending. Okay, you can always use our comment box in my live and try to really put any kind of responses. May it be a question or just a comment about something, no, something that you want to share to everybody. Any kind of response is acceptable as long as it is not offensive or bad. Okay, I will try to really consistently check the stream so that any question will be really recognized or acknowledged. Okay, so please make sure if there are any questions, please ask. No, don't be afraid to ask. I will answer your question so that it really ensures that I am. It really ensures that you are understanding our lesson. Okay. All right. Okay. So again, those are the different words so far. We're going to start or continue with the remaining 8 words, if I'm not mistaken. 8 words, 8 remaining words for this particular topic, McDonald's vocabulary. So let's start. Our first word is on, okay, it's still food. We call it McMuffin. So McMuffin, okay, that one. McMuffin is an English muffin with egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon. So it is basically a breakfast classic. Remember, there is a breakfast menu in McDonald's where it is served until 10 a.m. only. So one of the options, no, one of the options there is the McMuffin. So again, this is McMuffin. So to understand, of course, how we successfully serve millions of people before they start their work, we must look at the legendary center of our breakfast menu. That is the McMuffin. So again, that is a muffin with egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon. So while it looks like a simple sandwich, the McMuffin is a masterpiece of, specific cooking techniques. The egg is really cooked in a specialized round ring to ensure that it fits perfectly within the toasted English muffin, and it provides a consistent experience in every bite. So when a guest is eating a McMuffin, they're looking for that specific combination of the savory protein, the melted cheese, and the unique texture of the toasted muffin. So, to maintain this quality, the sandwich is wrapped in a specialized foil lined paper. So, this packaging is a vital service. It reflects heat back into the sandwich, ensuring that the cheese stays melted even if the customers is taking it back to their office. So that's their way to really ensure that the food is of quality, even if they do not eat it immediately. So this is a primary choice for many during their morning commute. You know, the coordination between the kitchen and their service points must be flawless. With that in mind, and whether a customer is placing an order at the counter or racing through the drive-through, the goal is to hand over a hot, fresh sandwich within seconds. Okay? So for you as service professionals, the mock muffin requires mastery of let's say modification logistics. Many customers have specific morning routines. You will hear requests for no meat, extra cheese, or even no butter in the muffin. So, in a busy environment, you must enter these into the system accurately and communicate them to the assembly line instantly. A mistake on a morning order can disrupt a customer's entire day. So, your professional Focus must be at its highest level. Now, McMuffin is rarely ordered alone. It is almost always paired with a hot beverage, often from our Mac Cafe line. To facilitate the act of drinking, we serve these in insulated cups. So if a customer prefers a cold drink, we must ensure that the ice levels are perfect so that the beverage remains refreshing throughout their journey. So interestingly, some customers enjoy a savory sweet combination, might even ask for a ketchup to go with their egg and sausage. While it may not be the standard, a world class professional is always ready to provide whatever the customer needs to enjoy their meal to the fullest. So think about the impact of this one sandwich, no? The McMuffin helped pioneer the entire concept of a quick, high quality breakfast for people on the move. And by learning to manage the production and service of these classic, you are learning how to handle one of the most high pressure, high reward periods in the restaurant industry. So that is the Mac Muffin. Again, an English muffin with egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon, a breakfast classic. Okay, next we move on to the menu. Okay, very familiar. This isn't a food, this is the list of food. So, again, menu. Menu is defined as the list of all food and drinks available to order, usually displayed on a large board. So, menu is the single most important navigational tool in our professional environment or in the eating industry. So that is the menu. In our world class system, the menu is formally defined as the list of all food and drinks available to order. So it may seem like simple list to casual observer, but to a service professional, the menu is a complex, um, data-driven map that governs the entire logistic flow of the restaurant. So it is a bridge between our kitchen's capabilities and the customer's desires. So the physical design of the menu is the first point of contact in the customer journey. So when a guest enters the restaurant and looks up at the counter, their eyes immediately seek the menu. So this board is not designed by accident. It uses sophisticated eye gaze studies to ensure the most important information is processed in seconds, and the board is strategically divided into zones. Dedicated spaces for breakfast, iconic beef burgers like the Big Mac, and the specialized Mac Cafe selections. By using a specific visual hierarchy, where large, high definition photography of items like the Mac chicken or golden french fries take center stage, we trigger an immediate sensory response. So, this encourages the guest to move toward a complete set or an extra value meal, which simplifies the decision making process for them while increasing operational efficiency for us. So, yes, beyond its visual appeal, the menu acts as a temporal regulator for the entire restaurant. One of the most impressive feats of menu management is the transition between different menu states known as a changeover. The breakfast menu, featuring morning classics like the McMuffin, is served with precision until exactly 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So at that moment, the digital boards shift and the morning favorites disappear, and of course, the core lunch and dinner options take over. So this operational shift requires the kitchen to clear all breakfast equipment and prep lunch items like ketchup, dispensers, ice beans for high volume rush ahead. So, for a teacher and even a service professional, the menu board for your is your, let's say, clock. You must anticipate these things, these changes to ensure that the kitchen is always ready to deliver on its promise. So every item listed on the menu serves a specific sensory purpose, and it represents a category of engineering. The Big Mac, it stands as the anchor of the beef category, while the Mac Chicken represents the crispy category. So the descriptions of the board mentioning fresh lettuce and creamy mayonnaise are chosen to emphasize the contrast of textures that the guest will experience during the act of eating. So, furthermore, the beverage section of the menu reminds the customer to choose their preferred cup size and drink, facilitating the act of drinking to the customer to choose their preferred cup size and drink, and just to complete their meal. So even in the smallest details, such as the mention of ketchup or other sauces, they're vital because they complete the flavor profile that the brand is known for globally. So yeah, for the service professional, the menu is your most valuable cheat sheet. It is the foundation for all professional communication. So when a customer orders, you use your knowledge of the menu to perform suggestive selling. For example, asking if they would like a McCafe coffee with their McMuffin. It also allows you to handle modification logistics, such as a request for no ice in a drink. And by knowing the menu layout perfectly, you can enter orders into the digital system with speed and accuracy. So keeping your eyes on the customer to maintain a human connection rather than being buried in a screen. So, yeah, in conclusion, the menu is a promise we make to the world. It is commitment that no matter where a customer is, a Big Mac will be a Big Mac, the French fries will be golden and crispy, and when you stand behind the counter, you're the living representative of the menu. You're the one who turns those digital pictures into a physical reality. So you ensure that the ice is cold, the ketchup is stacked, and the mock chicken is served hot. So that is the importance of that. So to master the menu is to master the restaurant. It is the language of our business and the blueprint for our success. Okay, so that is the menu. A very important one because again, this lists all of the food options and drinks. Okay, let's move on to the next word. So far we did two words already: mock, muffin, and menu. Now we move on to the third word or term: napkin. So what is a napkin? A napkin is a paper tissue for cleaning your hands and face while eating your meal. So yeah, cleanliness will always be of high priority when it comes to the eating industry. Okay, so um here we're talking about napkin. It helps us to how do you call it? It helps us to so that is the napkin. Now um in our service vocabulary, the napkin is formally defined as a paper tissue for cleaning your hands and your face while eating your meal. While it may seem like a simple commodity, the management and the distribution of sorry, napkins are essential components of our commitment to quality and cleanliness. So yeah, the napkin serves as a vital tool during the act of eating, whether a customer is enjoying the crispy layers of a mac chicken, the savory complexity of a Big Mac, or the morning classic Mac muffin. The potential for mess is a natural part of the enjoyment. A world class professional understands that providing an adequate supply of napkins is not just about hygiene, it is a service that allows the guest to focus entirely on the taste of their food. So, that is the importance of napkin, right? Okay. So I see multiple viewers. Now again, a reminder, if you have any questions, no, or any kind of responses, not just questions, you are free to do so. You can always comment on our live. I am constantly checking the stream so that any kind of comment or responses will be acknowledged, especially if it is related to our discussion. Okay? Now, here again, we're talking about napkin. So the presence of the napkin also interacts with our beverage and condiment systems. When a guest is drinking a large soda or hot cafe latte, napkins provide a protective barrier against minor spills or condensation on the cup. And furthermore, when using a tangy sauce like ketchup or for their french fries, the guest relies on the napkin to maintain a clean and pleasant environment. So of course, the napkin, let me just say, it represents the final polish of your hospitality for the service professionals. No, you check that the dispensers are full and that every bag has its required tissues, shows an attention to the detail that separates a trainer from a master. So as you look at our menu, remember that every item listed there requires the silent support of the napkin to make the experience complete. Okay? So again, that is napkin. Now we move on to the fourth word. Our fourth word is ordering. Now, ordering is the act of telling staff what food and drinks you want to buy at the counter. So again, that is ordering. So this is the critical moment where the customer takes the lead. No, we are focusing on ordering. This is the primary verbal exchange that sets our entire logistical machine into motion. So the process of ordering is a direct interaction with the menu. There our comprehensive list of available food and drinks. Because as a service professional, your your role during this phase it is to be an active listener and a guide. So when a guest stands at the counter, they're often processing a large amount of visual information. So your professional presence helps them navigate their choices. No, it ensures that they find a complete set that satisfies their hunger. So efficiency during ordering is vital because it impacts the speed of the entire restaurant. So for an English learner, this is the perfect time to practice clarification scripts. You might ask, would you like that as a meal? Or which size drink would you prefer for your order? So these questions help refine the request, ensuring that the kitchen really produces exactly what the guest intends for their experience of eating and drinking. So here, accuracy prevents waste and it ensures the guest receives their favorite items like a crispy mac chicken or a classic mac muffin exactly as they like them. So yeah, we must also be prepared for the modification logistics that occur during this stage. Um, a customer may order French fries but request no salt, or they might ask for a cold beverage with no ice. So yeah, a professional must enter these details into the digital system instantly. This clear communication ensures that the guest's unique preferences, perhaps even asking for extra ketchup, are honored by the assembly team. And furthermore, the ordering stage is the gateway to our premium services. So if a guest is looking for a more refined experience, you can direct their attention to our Mac Cafe selection for a latte or cappuccino. And by understanding the full scope of our offerings, you transform from someone who simply takes an order into a hospitality expert who curates a meal for a person. So, in conclusion, yeah, the act of ordering is really the foundation of the customer's trust. When you record their choices accurately and with a friendly demeanor, you're promising them a golden moment of satisfaction. So, you are the conductor of this symphony. You turn their verbal request into the tangible reality of a hot, fresh meal. So, that is the act of ordering. Okay? Now, what words did we tackle so far? We have the mac muffin, an English muffin with egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon, a breakfast classic, followed by the menu, the list of all foods and drinks available to order, usually displayed on a large board. Next, we have the napkin, a paper tissue for cleaning your hands and face while eating your meal. And last one, we have the ordering, the act or telling staff what food and drinks you want to buy at the counter. So we've did forward so far. I hope it is not overwhelming, but just to ensure that your mind is still ready for more words, let's take a quick break. No, we are going to do a break of 5 minutes. So we will be back by 6:28 p.m. Okay, so take your necessary or good enough break. Well, I will also take mine. See you later. Okay, hello. I'm back. I hope everybody is also back and ready to continue with the remaining last four terms of this topic. Okay, are you there, everybody? You can comment. You can always do comment stuff, any kind of stuff, as long as it is related to our discussion or our lesson. Okay, I am constantly checking the stream for any kind of responses so that I can acknowledge or recognize it. Now, let's continue with the remaining words for a moment. Okay, so here, let me just check my audio and screen. Okay, everything is good, so we're going to continue. Yeah, before that, let's do a quick breathing exercise. On my cue, inhale, exhale. Again, one last time. Inhale, exhale. Okay, all good. All right. So again, the words that we've tackled so far, we have the Mac muffin, followed by the menu, the napkin, and last one is ordering. So those are the different four words that we've tackled so far. Next word would be the self service. So this is not a food still. So what is self service? Self service is defined as using a touch screen kiosk to place your order yourself without talking to staff. So that is self service. Now, this is um a very famous or yeah, a very famous primary tool that has revolutionized how guests interact with our systems, no, with the system of the McDonald's without direct verbal communication with with another service professional. So that is the self service. We are not talking to any staff, no, unless needed, no, unless we're not familiar with the kiosk. Of course, we need help from a staff. But if you know your way, if you know how to manipulate, no, how to pick an order using this kiosk, no, just on your own, then you don't need to talk to the staff at all. So the self service kiosk acts as a digital version of the menu, our comprehensive list of available food and drinks. So while some guests still prefer the human connection at the counter, many adult learners and busy professionals find that the kiosk provides more time to browse through our complete set of offerings. This digital interface allows for total control over the sensory outcome of the meal, from choosing a crispy mac chicken for lunch to really selecting a classic mac muffin during breakfast rush. Logistically, the kiosk excels at managing verification logistics, and because the customer is interacting directly with the system, they can easily customize their order with high precision. For example, they can precisely select no salt for their french fries, or they can request a cold beverage with specifically no ice. So they can even add extra packets of ketchup to their order with a single touch or click to the screen. So this direct input reduces the risk of errors that can occur during a lively or busy period at the physical counter. Furthermore, the self-service platform is really the perfect environment for exploring our premium Mac Cafe selection. So the digital display provides high-definition images of lattes and cappuccinos, which encourage the guests to try something new while they wait. So once the order is placed and the transaction is complete, the guests can simply take the receipt and find a comfortable spot for eating and drinking, knowing that their order has been sent directly to the kitchen's assembly line. So, for you as a service professional, if you are understanding the kiosk is a vital information. It's vital. While the customer is doing the work of entering the order, your role shifts to being a kiosk host. You are there to assist anyone who might find the technology challenging, ensuring that their experience remains smooth and professional. So you are not just a worker here, you're a facilitator of a modern, efficient hospitality system. So yeah, that is self-service. Okay? Again, that is self service. Next, we move on to Straw. Again, straw. So, what is a straw? This is a thin tube used for drinking beverages from a cup without using your hands. So, that is a straw. No, this is an essential tool that bridges the gap between our cold beverages and the guest's experience. So it is more of an accessory, if I may say. The straw is a critical component in maintaining the golden standard of the beverage service of this industry. So the primary function of the straw is to really facilitate the act of drinking. It allows the guest to enjoy their beverage while maintaining focus on the sensory act of eating their meal. So, whether that is a crispy mac chicken, a savory Big Mac, or a classic Mac muffin, by using a straw, the guest can consume their drink without needing to tilt a large cup, which is particularly important in a busy or mobile environment like the drive through. Logistically, the service of the straw is tied directly to our cold beverage assembly. When a guest orders a drink from the menu, the beverage is prepared with a precise amount of ice to ensure that it remains refreshing and cool. So the straw is designed to reach the bottom of the cup, allowing the guest to draw the coldest liquid from beneath the ice layer. So in a professional setting, straws are handled with strict hygiene protocols, often individually wrapped, and they are provided at the counter or placed directly into the takeaway bag to ensure the guest has everything they need for a complete experience. So yeah, the straw also let's just say plays a role in a really flavor delivery, especially when guests use condiments like ketchup, what other else? Ketchup for their French fries. Um, a refreshing sip through a straw provides really a sharp, cool contrast to the salty, warm flavors of our side dishes. So, for our premium McCafe iced selections, the straw is essential for enjoying layered drinks where the milk and espresso might be served and mixed. So, as service professionals, your attention to the small logistics, like ensuring every cold drink is accompanied by the straw, is what defines our commitment to excellence. It is the final detail in a complex chain of service that begins at the ordering stage of the self-service kiosk and ends with a satisfied guest. Okay? So that is a straw. Okay, are we clear? Are we understanding so far, or are we following so far? Again, you can always comment in our live so that I can see that you're really participating and that you are understanding my lesson. Okay? Next, we move on to the Sunday. So this is the second to the last word, I believe. Let me just check. Okay, it is. Hmm. Okay. Again, the word is Sunday. Again, Sunday. So Sunday is a soft serve vanilla ice cream topped with chocolate, caramel, or other tasty sauces. So that is a sundae, no? This is one of the most iconic treat in the dessert options dessert options of McDonald's, the sundae. So, in our professional framework, a sundae is really defined as a soft serve vanilla ice cream topped with chocolate caramel or other tasty sauces, as mentioned here in our slide. No, it serves basically a sweet conclusion to a meal. So the sundae is also a product of precise temperature engineering and aesthetic standards. So the core of every sundae is our signature soft serve. Now this product must maintain a specific density and cool temperature to ensure the golden state of the dessert. When a guest chooses a sundae from the menu, they ensure that to ensure that the golden state of the dessert, when a guest chooses a sundae from the menu, they are looking for a creamy contrast to the savory items they have just finished eating. such as it may be a Big Mac or a Mac chicken. Logistically, if you try to think about it, the sundae really requires specialized assembly. No, there is the base. What is the base? This is a soft serve. The soft serve is swirled into a clear cup, allowing the guests to see the quality of the product. There's also the topping. No, a precise amount of warm chocolate or caramel sauce is added. The thermal contrast between the cold ice cream and the warm sauce is a key part of the sensory experience. And then we have the support tools. Because of its semi liquid nature, the sundae is served with a sturdy spoon rather than a straw. So, for our service professionals here, speed is really essential when delivering a sundae, no? Because it lacks the solid structure of ice cubes. Soft serve begins to melt the moment it takes or it leaves the machine. So whether the guest is ordering at the counter or using self-service, the dessert should be the last item prepared to ensure that it reaches the customer in its perfect frozen state. So yeah, the sundae also represents our commitment to variety. While a guest might enjoy a hot coffee or a salty side of French fries dipped in the ketchup, the sundae offers a different flavor profile, sweet, cool, and indulgent. So it is the final polish on a complete dining experience. Okay? So again, that is the sundae. For a moment. Okay, it's all good. I thought the live was paused. Okay, all good. No, we can hear. I can hear my voice loud and clear, and I can also see the presentation. So yeah, continuing again. The word is Sunday. So again, here it may be simple, but remember that even a simple dessert like the Sunday requires attention to detail. So, yeah, from ensuring that the machine is really sanitized and clean to drizzling the sauce with care, you are responsible for delivering that final moment of joy to our guests. Okay? So, again, that is Sunday. Now we move on to our last word of the evening. Also, this is our last word or term for the topic McDonald's vocabulary. So, our last term would be takeaway. Takeaway is defined as ordered food to take with you and eat somewhere else, packed in a bag. So, to conclude our discussion, we must address the final logistical stage that allows our brand or this brand to reach guests beyond the physical walls of the dining room, the takeaway service. No, it is ordering food to take out. So that this process is the ultimate expression of convenience, and it requires really meticulous attention to detail to really ensure that the golden standard remains intact during transit. So the takeaway journey, it begins at the point of ordering. Whether a guest chooses to speak with staff at a counter, maybe utilizes a self-service kiosk or navigates the high-speed lane of the drive-through, regardless of the entry point, the menu acts as their guide, helping them select a complete set of items designed for portability. Logistically, packing for takeaway is an act of an act of how do you call it? an act of precision engineering in a way that there is thermal management. That's the first one. Hot items like a crispy mac chicken, a savory Big Mac, or a breakfast McMuffin must be placed at the bottom of the bag to retain heat. Separation of elements also is, prioritized. Cold beverages in their designated cups filled with ice and fitted with a straw must be kept separate from the hot food to prevent condensation from making the meal soggy. And then, of course, the essential support. No takeaway bag is complete without a sufficient supply of napkins and appropriate condiments, such as ketchup for the guests' french fries. So, for the guest, the act of eating and drinking a takeaway meals occur in their own environment, may it be at the office, in a park, or at home. So, because we are not there to assist them, the quality for packing is our only form of service. We even offer sweet conclusions like the Sunday. Though these required the fastest transit times to maintain their soft serve integrity, for those needing a caffeine boost, our Mac coffee beverages are secured with specialized lids to ensure that they survive the journey. So, as service professionals, you must treat every takeaway order as a mobile advertisement for our quality. When a bag is packed neatly, the order is accurate and the food arrives hot. You have successfully extended our hospitality into the guest's world. You have mastered the final link in our chain of excellence. So that is a takeaway. Class, you're now fully equipped with the vocabulary, the logistical knowledge, and the professional scripts to excel in every corner of this high-speed environment. From the first click on a kiosk to the final fold of a takeaway bag, you are ready to deliver golden moments to every guest every time. Okay? So that is already the ending or the last word for this topic. I hope everybody has learned something. So as we bring this evening's session to a close, let us reflect on the vast ecosystem we have navigated together. What began as a look at individual ingredients has revealed itself to be a masterclass in global logistics, in operational excellence of any kind of fast food industry. Every single element that we discussed is really, really important. Okay? So we started with, traditional experiences like eating in, which again, this refers to the act of ordering your food and consuming it inside the restaurant's dining area. So again, when a customer chooses to eat in, they're looking for more than just food. They're looking for a more comfortable environment. So for the crew, this means a vital service shifts from just speed to include cleanliness and atmosphere. So yeah, as we discussed when we looked at the counter, the worker always asked the clarifying question: Is that for here or to go? Okay. If the answer is for here, the meal is served in a plastic tray rather than in a paper bag. So the opposite of this is takeaway, which was our last word. In many parts of the world, this is also known as to go. So this service method is designed for customers who want to enjoy their meal at home, at the office, or just outdoors in general. So the logistics of takeaway are centered on packaging. The Big Mac must be boxed. The French fries must be tucked into their sleeves, and everything must be placed securely in a paper bag with a handle. So the napkin and the ketchup packets are added as essential accessories to ensure that the customer has everything they need once they leave the store. Accuracy at the counter is most critical here because once the customer leaves, a missing item can be easily replaced. However, the true masterpiece of McDonald's is the drive-through. This is defined as a service where customers can buy food without leaving their cars. It is a high-speed pipeline of activity, so the process is divided into three distinct windows. At the first window, the customer speaks into a microphone to look at the menu and, of course, place their ordering request to that. And then at the second window, they pay. At the third window, they receive their food. And this system is a complete set of timed interaction. So if one card takes too long at the speaker, the entire line slows down. So this is why the scripts used by the crew must be short and direct. So in the drive-through, we also seek the peak of beverage technology. When someone is driving, they cannot easily handle a cup without a lid, right? So as we learned in our session in the cup, the lid must snap perfectly to prevent spills in the car. So the worker must also remember the straw is drinking from the rim while driving is difficult and unsafe. So the drive-through is a busy environment, whether every second is tracked on a digital timer. Managers watch these timers closely to ensure the speedy service remains the top priority. So for an English learner, these three services, these three services or service types provide excellent opportunities to practice different functional phrases. So if you're the customer, you might say, I'd like to eat in please, or make that a takeaway. If you work at the drive-thru, your language must be even more inefficient. Welcome to McDonald's, may I take your order? Something like that. So you can also pull forward to the next window. These are professional scripts that keep the global machine glowing, okay? So in here, we must also consider the role of self-service in the modern industry. Um, Many eat-in and takeaway customers now use large digital kiosks to place their orders. So this is a form of um, ser- no, this is a form of self-service that reduces pressure on the counter staff and allows the customer to browse the menu at their own pace. Even with this technology, you physically hand off the food remains a human interaction. So whether you're handing tray to a family still sitting in a booth or passing a bag through a drive-through window, the standard of quality service and cleanliness remains the same. So yeah, that is actually some of the words that were mentioned during my discussions. Now, remember that the transition between these services modes is what makes a restaurant a lively place. During the breakfast rush, the drive-through might be the primary focus, with hundreds of cars passing through before 10 to 10:30 a.m. In the evening, the eat-in area might fill up with teenagers sharing chicken nuggets on a Sunday or a Sunday dessert. So the crew must be flexible, moving between stations at the demand changes. Okay. Okay. For a moment. Okay. So yeah, in here the crew must be flexible. No, they can move between stations as the demand changes. So that you can think about the global, consistency of these systems. You can go to a drive-through in the Philippines, United States, or France, and the experience will feel familiar. This is the power of the McDonald's system. It takes the simple act of eating and turns it into a perfectly managed world-class operations. So every item on your list, from McMuffin to in the morning to the mac chicken at night is part of this massive logistical stance. Okay? Okay. So yeah, those are the different words. Let's try to check on the words. Again, how many words are there? There are 25 essential words for McDonald's vocabulary. Okay. Again, this is the last part of our discussion on McDonald's vocabulary. You've learned 25 essential words about the world's most famous fast food restaurant, the McDonald's. I hope you've learned something, everyone. If there are any more questions, of course, you can just look back at the video and just listen to me while I discuss it. no? Because again, this particular topic is separated into three sections: part one, part two, and part three. Since our time is very limited, only 1 hour, okay? 1 hour per day. Now we move on to the different terms. Again, let me just read its term. No, no definition. We have the apple pie, Big Mac, breakfast, cheeseburger, chicken nuggets, Coke, counter, cup, drinking. Okay. Next, eat in. So that is drive through. Eat in, eating, French fries, ice, ketchup, mac cafe, mac chicken, mac muffin, menu, napkin. Okay, for a moment. Okay, that's fine. Menu, mac muffin, menu, napkin, ordering, self service, straw, Sunday, and take away. So those are the different 25 essential words that we've talked about. Um, that we've talked about McDonald's vocabulary. So there any questions, everyone? Let me check. I guess none. We don't have any questions. We don't have any questions. No, I will be glad if you have any questions. That only means that you've listened to my discussion and that you feel confused about something. So I will try to, of course, acknowledge that and break or dismantle that confusion you are feeling. Again, um, this is. Let me just go back to the first slide. Okay. Okay, here we are again. Our last topic is McDonald's vocabulary. There are three sessions in total. Please watch it again if you haven't watched it, or if you need some refreshing, you can watch the stream again and again. Now, on the next few meetings, we're going to have an assessment, basically an exercise, different exercises to assess your understanding of the McDonald's vocabulary. So this will be done in the next sessions. Okay. Any question, everyone? Do we have any question? Any question about someone? I guess none. Well, that is all for today. Thank you for always being here for me, all throughout our different discussions. And see you on our next discussions, our next meetings. Goodbye, and thank you, everyone. Have a great night ahead.